Welcome back, students of BA Part 2nd, English Literature, Government College, Jaksu. I'm Dr. Anshoo Sharma, and today I shall be doing the poem Night of the Scorpion, the introduction to which I have already given to you in the previous lecture. Today I shall be doing the poem. I have also read the poem. I shall not be reading it again. I'll just be giving you uh, the basic details and the analysis of the poem. Now this poem, it is there on your screens. I do not think you will be able to read the poem, but I just wanted to show you that how the poem looks at one go. It is a long poem of, I would not say very long, but a reasonably, it has got like 48 lines. So it's a reasonably long poem, and the idea that is being discussed here, as the title suggests, is the night of the scorpion. Now, the two words that strike our minds are night and scorpion. So, as the title suggests, it was the night that was ruled by the scorpion, who is the protagonist, or you can say who is the antagonist of the poem. He is the villain of the poem. Due to him, the whole, or rather I should say it, it's an insect after all. The whole events as they unfolded throughout the night, that are discussed, or that are talked about, or that are commented upon by the poet in a very unattached or detached manner. He is talking about the whole event, and it is his own mother who has been bitten by the scorpion. So I have read the poem once. I will not read the whole poem again. I'll just straight away get into the meanings. I shall just be taking bits and parts, and I'll quickly explain them to you. The poem is not very difficult, as I had told you in the introductory lecture. Nissim Ezekiel does not use very difficult words. He has used very basic English, and the form of the poem also I had explained that it is got a free verse, and despite that, there is certain rhyming. You can catch the rhyming in the words when you read the poem. Also, the structure of the poem is not very formal, because the poem has not been divided into any fixed paragraphs. There is no fixed rhyme scheme that has been made use of, and the structure therefore is rather loose. And Ezekiel was purposely trying to do this because he was trying to break away from his earlier style of writing, and he was experimenting with a format that was a more casual. But at the same time, it is a very interesting poem. It is, there's a certain commentary which is very much perceptible. What the poet is trying to do is very much obvious through the reading of the poem. Now, I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. Now, here straight away the poem begins with, a memory. Now, when the poet tells us in the very beginning that he remembers something, it becomes obvious that this happening maybe happened when the poet was a child. So, it is maybe about quite a few years back that he is telling us about. This event happened many years back, and the particular thing that happened was that his mother had been bitten by a scorpion, which could have been very dangerous, because people are known to die by the scorpion bites, or even there are medical complications that can take place. And therefore the poet is discussing that. He's telling us about something that was quite exciting per se. And how it ends, I have read the poem, so you know that it does not end negatively, and none of the living beings have been harmed in any way whatsoever. But the pattern of the poem, the style is like a fairy tale, something long gone by, when so many things happen one fine day, it's something like that. So he remembers the night when his mother had been bitten by the scorpion, and he says he is also giving the reason as to why it happened, because the scorpion, it had been raining the whole night, it had been raining for almost 10 hours. So it is, the kind of this comment very clearly says that the poet is giving the reason as to why the scorpion entered their home, and why did the scorpion hide beneath that grain of rice, because it was cold, it was raining, and it was there to protect himself. It was not there, his intention was not to harm the mother. That was not the intention, and this the poet is making clear in the very first attempt. So he says that it was the natural circumstances that forced the scorpion to enter their home. And when the mother goes into that granary, into that storeroom looking for something, it was by chance that maybe her foot fell on the scorpion, and he that is the natural instinct of any animal, it's a self protective instinct. So the scorpion bit the mother, stung the mother, parting with his poison flash of diabolic tail in the dark room. So these are, I would rather say, this has got a kind of mystery, there's in these lines, because firstly the scorpion has kind of given something that belongs to him to the mother, and that is the poison. He has only poison to give, so he has parted with that poison, and he had stung the mother. When he stung the mother, the poison was transferred from the scorpion's sting to the mother's foot. And in a flash meaning, because the scorpion itself is also scared of human contact, so the scorpion is in a way trying to protect himself. That scorpion, in a flash, in a jiffy, very quickly, in split seconds, the scorpion disappears with the diabolic tail in the dark room. Now that diabolic tail is just one example, or you can say one instance, where the poet hints that the scorpion was a negative character. So therefore we can say that the scorpion is the antagonist of the poem, because of his sting, because of his poison. The whole event, the whole happening, sequence of happenings that take place on that night are because of the scorpion and his poisonous sting. So he risked the rain again. Risked, that is maybe what the poet is trying to say. He bit the mother, and because he got scared, the scorpion decided to go out of that storeroom. This is what is hinted at here. Now, interestingly, now you have to note this, that from the point of the view of the scorpion, if you see, it is the scorpion that is scared of the human beings, and it is only in self defense that the scorpion has bitten, or you can say stung, the mother. And the moment the mother has come in the storeroom, he decides to run away from there. So that 10 hours of rainfall, he is ready to risk that rainfall, he is ready to risk the cold night, rather than stay inside that storeroom where the human beings have come to interrupt his peace. You can look at it that way. So he decides to go away, but the damage has been done. The poison has been, has spread into the lady's foot. Then you see the next lines. The peasants came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. Now these three lines are very telling, because it is the village where this happening is taking place, because these people, they live in the village, and immediately when the mother must have cried, or she must have screamed out in pain, and because the houses are nearby, people could hear her screams, hear her shout of calling out for help, and all the neighbors quickly, they gather around the lady, they enter the house, and they try to look for the scorpion, and immediately they start saying that, may the evil one, that is reference to the scorpion. And why is the scorpion being called evil? Because the scorpion has stung the mother, and he has bitten and parted with his poison, and kind of infected the mother. So therefore the people are calling him evil, right? And here it is like a kind of clash between the natural world against the urban world, against the human world, against the developed world. That is the way you can look at it, as I had also mentioned in the introductory lecture. So they, kind of, this is the initial reaction that usually the people have, they kind of curse the animals, or they curse the people who have or curse the insect who has done this biting, who has stung the mother. So they curse him, and then with candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud baked walls, they searched for him. So high and low, because they have entered the storeroom and they have only lamps to throw light. So when they enter that storeroom, because of the different things that are kept inside the room, there are big huge shadows that are created on the walls, and there is a quick description of the walls also, which are, you know, made with mud. So it is a very typical village house that is being described here, and the whole description of the night time, the whole description of the light, the way it throws shadows. Now why does he use this term scorpion shadows? Because they are looking for the scorpion, and everywhere when you are looking for something, you feel as if that insect may be here, it may be on the right, it may be on the left, it might be under the bag, it might be over the bag, it might be on the walls. So everything looks or seems to be like a scorpion. So the shadows also that are being thrown on due to the candle lamp or due to the lamp light, they also appear to be like giant scorpions. Then he was not found. They clicked their tongues. Now you can see it's a very simple description. When they're looking for the scorpion has already left the premises, that we know. The poet has already shared that the scorpion, after biting the mother, decides to, go out, run away in the rain rather than stay there inside that room. So he's already gone, and despite the best of efforts, the people are unable to locate him. They try to search, and then they are clicking their tongues. This is the sound that common people make. It's a common reaction. They are unable to find him and they are disappointed. They click their tongues. With every movement that the scorpion made, his poison moved in mother's blood, they said. Now you will see, when I read the poem also, you must have noticed there is a repetition of these two words, they said. Please make note of this. They said, they said, they said. Again and again, these two words are repeated because the poet is kind of narrating verbatim whatever was taking place in that room on that night. And it is the people, it is the group of people, it is the group of villagers who have gathered there to help out the mother. Whatever they are doing, whatever they are saying, that is being narrated by the poet as he remembers, as his memory tells him. So here he says, this is the first example what the common belief is. Now this is basically superstition. The second example of a contrast, please, I would like to emphasize this. This is the second example of how, reality versus popular belief, or reality versus superstition. So this is a common superstition that when the scorpion will run, the poison will run inside the mother's body. If the scorpion sits still, the poison will not move. Now this is a belief, this is a fallacy. It is just a mere superstition. So a kind of tongue-in-cheek comment is being passed by the poet when he gives this description, when he narrates this claim of the villagers that if the scorpion moves, the poison is also going to move inside the body of the mother. Then you can see, what do they pray for? May he sit still, they said. May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight, they said. So in 3 lines you can see twice they said is being repeated. So the first is a prayer that hopefully the scorpion sits still. Because what is the superstition? That if the scorpion will remain still, then the poison in the body will not move. It will also kind of not spread. Secondly, what do they pray for? May your sins of your previous birth be burnt away tonight. Now this is again a kind of, I would say this is, I don't know, this is I think a Hindu belief that, that we move on from one birth to another. And whatever deeds that we do, जो हिंदी में हम कहते हैं कर्म की philosophy को follow करते हैं हिंदुइज्म में. So there it is very clear that whatever you do in your past birth is going to affect your present birth. If you have done something wrong, you are going to suffer in this birth. If you have done something good, then you will have good things happening to you in this birth. So something similar is being commented upon here when the villagers say that today, because when you are suffering, the scorpion has bitten you, the poison is spreading, it is causing you a lot of pain. So, what it means is that maybe in your previous birth you had done some bad karma that will get mitigated, that will get, it will kind of burn away. All your sins would be burnt away because you are suffering now. Then may your suffering decrease, the misfortunes of your next birth, they said. So what is going to happen? Because you are suffering now, because the scorpion has bitten you, because the poison has spread in your veins, because there is a lot of pain, now that pain is going to cut away all your suffering in your future births as well. So this is also a common belief. This is a kind of comment by Ezekiel on the common beliefs that people have. Then in the same tone, in the same vein, what is the poet saying? May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pain. So now this is a kind of equation that people do. Again, something to do with karma. All good deeds, what happens? This is another belief that if bad deeds have been done, you can mitigate those deeds, you can, negate them, or you can cancel them by doing good deeds. राइट जिसको कहते हैं बुरा करा है तो उसको अच्छा करके आप बराबर कर लें, समथिंग लाइक दैट. If you've done something negative, you do something positive so that the effects of your negative doings are cancelled. So the same thing he says here, may the sum of good cancel all the sum of bad that may have been done earlier, and your pain will diminish all that because you are suffering, you are under a lot of pain. That poison is spreading in your body, it is causing a lot of difficulties, and you are suffering. And may this suffering mitigate, cancel all your bad deeds. May the poison purify your flesh. Now, this is, kind of wishful thinking that just because you are suffering now, whatever wrong that you may have done earlier, it will get dissipated, it will get cancelled. And what are the list of things that cause a lot of problems for us? One is desire, second is ambition. Now these are the things which cause a lot of, sometimes you do certain actions which are not good because of your desires or because of your ambition. So what is he saying? I'll repeat it again. May the poison purify your flesh of desires and your spirit of ambition. Now that you're suffering, now that the poison has entered your body, what do we wish upon you? That poison should kill your desire. That poison should kill the spirit of ambition that may be lurking within your heart. They said, and they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center. So, a very common, very easy way of describing. What is the poet telling us? That the lady of the house, that is the poet's mother, is, lying down on the floor, and all the people are surrounding her. Like they are, it's like a huge circle, and everybody is sitting around her, observing her. And most of these people are passing such comments which the poet is narrating here. So then he says, the peace of understanding on each face. Now there is a kind of, each person who is present there, each villager, each neighbor who is there, he feels that there is a kind of understanding on their faces. They have internalized this issue, they have internalized this happening, that because the mother is suffering, ultimately it is going to benefit her, because whatever wrong she may have done, whatever sins she may have done in her past life, they are going to now no longer affect her because she is suffering. In return to that, whatever sins she may have done, she is suffering now, and now everything will get balanced. Then more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. So now here at this point the poet says, more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. Now, these 4 5 things are being said in the same breath because the poet is trying to emphasize how the news of the scorpion, how the news of his mother being bitten by the scorpion, spreads like fire, and one after the other, not only the immediate neighbors, but more people pour in. So more lanterns, that means more people have come, and along with the lanterns, what happens? More insects also come. And why are the insects coming? Because it is continuously raining. Now this is a very common happening. When there is a lot of rainfall, along with the rainfall, usually the insects, the moths also are, they surround the light. So, I would say the initial comment where the poet says that all these people come and gather like a swarm of flies, that same image is being repeated here when the poet, in the same breath, he says these things: more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. Catch the beauty of the idea? I hope you can understand what I am trying to tell you here. I think I will end here now because of the time constraints. The rest of the poem I'll do in the next video. So, till then, take care. See you again soon. Bye bye.